Okay, hello, greetings and welcome. Vital breathing. Just gently pull the joints open as you pore breathe. Gently push the joints open as you breathe out. Concentrating on the ball in the out breath. Concentrating on the whole body, breathing in like a balloon on the in breath. Big mental space. Then condense your willpower, breath, mental space into the ball. Big mental space. Then condense to small mental space into the ball. This expansion, open the mind, contraction, condense, press the joints open, push the energy into the ball, small space. Big space. This opening and closing of your mental space makes your mental body more flexible. Most people's mental body is rigid and stuck to their emotional astral ego. We want to get the mental body to open, and we want to get the mental body to condense. And we're using the breath to move and condense the mental body. Breathe into the space in and around you. Then condense that energy in that space into the ball between your hands. Expand and condense. Okay, so this whole body pore breathing exercise can be directed to a tree. Okay, so I've got this tree here. And the trunk's right out of view. What I'm going to do is just direct my awareness to the trunk of the tree. I'm going to soften down on my mind onto the ground, the roots of the tree. Then I'm going to pull the energy from under the ground and just lift it straight up. And follow the trunk out the branches, down the periphery of the drip zone of the tree, and just soften the energy down again. I let my mind settle into the ground. I cut in underneath the roots and feel the roots. I pull the energy up the trunk of the tree, push it out to the top where the sun's touching the leaves, soften out to the edges, and then just let the energy settle down as it goes back down into the ground. So this first circulation exercise, introduction into tree qigong. You're occupying a big mental space, and then you circulate up into a smaller mental space through the trunk of the tree, back out to the leaves, big mental space. Next tree qigong exercise. You're now tuned in. If there's a leaf on the ground underneath the tree, so I take this leaf, I break it. Even though it's a little bit dried, there's a smell. There's a vibrational chemical link I'm getting to the tree. I breathe that in. I vital breathe that in. Now I'm chemically feeling and smelling the tree. Now when I put my mind onto the smell of the tree, I breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe that smell and breathe the feeling of the tree in. And breathe out. Notice that I'm under the drip zone of the tree. The branches go all the way over the top of my head. And I breathe out. So I just start breathing and exchanging energy. I pull the energy from the tree, drop my hips, stretch my spine, open the pores, expand like a balloon. And my balloon encompasses the whole tree. And then push out, condense in the tree itself. Open into the space of the tree. Condense into the tree itself. So what happens is I'm engaging into the tree, then opening into the space. Engaging into the tree, opening into the space. So as I'm doing this energy exchanging with the tree, and I've tuned into the smell, and I've done the circulation exercise with the tree, and it's become a part of my psyche, my feeling, the tree will automatically start to feel and be sensitive to my astral harmony and disharmony. It'll start to balance my astral energy out, my emotions. I'll feel peaceful, I'll feel harmonious, I'll appreciate this beautiful landscape more, my spirit will start to wake up, I'll get endorphins rushing, and I feel great. So you repeat this exercise until these feelings of feel wonderful are arising, and it's a gift that the tree gives you. Trees are there to recycle oxygen, they recycle, take pollutants out of the air, drop them into the ground, they recycle your emotions, they take a bad emotion out of you and produce a good counterbalance emotion. They do lots of wonderful things. They're a recycling system. So we want to take that feeling of vital energy, mix the feeling with the tree, exchange until you feel a sense of harmony. So you've got to remember, what's your objective? It's the unification of consciousness with the tree so the tree can do its thing. It can harmonize and balance out your energy system. It can make you feel good. It can give you longevity, make you live longer. And there's lots of research about hospitals with a tree outside the window of the recovery room, and people recover faster just because they see green. So just from a fundamental level, we know that being around trees is healthy and good for you. But when you go to this level and you exchange energy with the tree, of course you're going to have an amplified longevity, you're going to feel much better, and your energy system is going to get stimulated. There'll be a stimuli within you that, oh wow, this feels fantastic. When you feel fantastic, identify why. What triggered that fantastic feeling? Was it a tree? Was it the environment? Was it the landscape? Was it architecture? What gave you that sense of feeling incredible? And once you've identified that, attune your mind to the trigger, breathe into the trigger, and have more of it. It's there for your taking. You can feel as good as you want. You can feel as great as you want. Just tune into it, take vital energy, put it on that frequency, you feel more great. And you go home, you go to the memory of that frequency of feeling great, you breathe energy into that memory, and you feel even more fantastic. So this way of training, where you identify peak feelings, peak frequencies in your experience, and then through that peak feeling, that peak frequency, you remember, you breathe life force into it, your astral body remembers, and it starts to feel the same as you did before. So you're able to take energy, put it into a memory, reactivate the memory, and make the same energy when you're not in that environment anymore. So this is a very interesting phenomenon. And the same thing happens with the reverse. A person gets scared, they have a fear. When they experience the fear, it sits inside them. And even though they're separate to where they experience the fear, they can still experience that fear anytime, even though they're not in the same environment anymore. The same rule applies to trees, where you're doing Qigong with some trees, you feel wonderful, you get the harmony, the balance, the energy rises, and then you go home, you can take your mind back to the experience of the tree, breathe into it, re-enliven it, feel fantastic. So any peak experience that you have, you now own that peak experience. Just breathe energy into it, and you can take ownership of it and have it anytime you want. Okay, thank you for your time, and see you on the next video.